Yeah. It was good for us. I mean, winning in this league is hard, you know what I'm saying? And to get a win off of what we went through the other night, we were not hurting this morning, but the energy was not bad at all. But you could see like that game had an effect on us and the travel and the back-to-back. And so we were trying to figure out ways to make sure the guys were emotionally and physically ready to play today. And we were ready. And that was pretty cool. And the outcome was the residual of the focus and determination that we showed on defense, holding that team to 98 points and having 8 guys in double figures. That's pretty cool. So to rest our guys in that situation, the starters anyway, is a bonus for us after, you know, Chris playing, I think 40 plus the other night, and the energy exerted in that game against Portland. I didn't know what to expect tonight. First game back from a back-to-back on the road, but I was just proud of how our team responded to the week that we've had. He makes you adjust throughout the game. I mean, you have a game plan, but you're tweaking it or reminding guys of what we need to do because of their plays and then what he does. You know, Mikal is one of the best in the league at taking an assignment and just making it tough on guys. And, you know, Bradley had, 26, but I thought Mikal was there. And then our team defense, the Reds, to try to take him out when Mikal was off of him with Jay and Cam and Landry and Chris. From that perspective, it was solid. But he's a tough cover. He has been for a long, long time. I'm just proud of Mikal accepting that challenge every night. We talked about it this morning, how much we appreciate his ability to, step on the floor every night and know that he's got the toughest matchup on the floor from the wing for sure. And, he does it every time we step on the floor, and we appreciate it.
You guys had 8 guys scoring double figures. I know you have the lead scoring mentality.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, passing it around, we only had 25 assists, but the 20 turnovers kind of negated our assist numbers, but still the ability to have that many guys score, especially on a night like this when, the energy wasn't bad at all, but we knew we were going to be hurting in this game. I think the guys are still sore from that Portland game because it was long and physical, but it's just cool to see that many guys score the ball like that. And to get that kind of production from your bench is an indicator of the depth that we have.
Chris with extra focus in that first half, getting involved
Yeah.
with DA and painting on the floor. The beginning, it seemed like it wasn't connected, but then right at the end of that second quarter, DA scored on 4 possessions. How did you think that went?
I just thought we closed out the half with a better focus. It got a bit close around the 7-6 mark, and then around the 4-ish, you could, to your point, Chris just took control of the game, and DA was really good inside. But that's that awareness, taking the momentum into halftime is huge for us, because earlier in the year we were having problems with either going into halftime or coming out. Just having that understanding that it's a big deal. We always talk about first 5 minutes at halftime when we're talking about the third quarter. Well, that last 5 before we went in was just as important, because I think it gave us some momentum in the second half.
There was a play in the second quarter where DeAndre was stealing, Chris threw it into him, DeAndre kicked it out, but they both knew DeAndre was going to get it back. You just have to steal it. How have you seen their chemistry sort of evolve over the last 12 to 18 months?
Well, I mean, I think it has evolved, and it's still evolving. But, those guys spend a lot of time talking about it, in practice after shoot-arounds, because teams, when you have Chris, you're going to see different defenses, and that's just a fact. Sometimes we see blitzes, sometimes we'll see switches, and DA, playing with Chris allows for you to grow because of that. So he was pretty good tonight, sealing guys. Sometimes they were in a drop and they got caught up in whether or not they were going to tag the shooter or go to DA. And Chris is so good at finding either or. Everybody benefits from having Chris. I mean, look at me. I'm the number one beneficiary having Chris. So those two are certainly evolving in that pairing.
To that point, there's that stretch Dave mentioned, 80 scores, 4 straight. Chris comes out next half, he's scoring, then they come up again, and then DeAndre goes again. Yeah. Do we take Chris for granted sometimes how quickly he can dissect and just give them no options, really?
I don't. I mean, I've said it a number of times. When you have a guy like Chris, you're not coaching him, you're reminding him. Because he's seen everything. He's good at adjusting on the fly, but he can also talk while he's dribbling, and that's something that very few people can do. And to be able to do it without Book is exceptional. I think we're developing a lot of confidence with Book being out. I think guys playing with Chris in this environment has helped us. And so when we get Book back, I think we'll be that much better. Avery Johnson. He was just the best at it. And usually telling me to get in the corner, like get out of the way so he could throw it to Dave. But guys like that I've played with, Eric Snow was like that. Point guards. I never played with Gary Payton, but I'm sure he was always saying other stuff to the team I was on because he was pretty competitive. But I don't take what Chris does on a night in, night out basis for granted at all. I'm grateful for it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of those things I'm going to go back and I've already thought about it, but I want to talk to the staff. I wanted to get this game first before we stamp anything. But I'm going to go back in the locker room and talk to the coaches so we can come up with a plan for the next 2 days, at least a prelim plan. We certainly will take tomorrow off just because the guys need it. And then Sunday's a day where we can, not go as hard, but stay sharp so we can get ready for a good Charlotte team coming in. And then we have that stretch, it is what it is. We get to hoop, and I think our guys enjoy that.
I was happy, man. I got the young fella a bucket, man. That's all I was looking to do, man.
In this stretch of getting minutes, what have you seen that maybe that has led to with them? Is you something more confident for because of that, or is it because of this work being put in?
With him, or who you talking about? With Jalen? Yeah, I mean he got sick, so he had some days off, but I definitely see just it's about playing. I mean, I've been in a situation that he's in to where I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to, or I didn't play at all. And it's hard to get that feel for the game. You can work out all you want. You can play 3-on-3, but nothing like a real game. So I'm glad he's getting the opportunity to get some minutes.
What do you think about this overall effort and having a comfortable win, which is something that I know you guys are.
Yeah, I was talking to Jay about it on the bench. I was like, okay, we actually put a team away today with 8 minutes left. You know what I'm saying? So it was good for us, and the fact that we play so much is good for our legs and get everybody out of there. And if we take care of business that first quarter and that third quarter, usually we good.
Monty said he could feel, you guys were coming off that tough game against Portland, and the attitude was good, but he could tell you guys were a little tired this morning. You've been around a long time and gone through long stretches, lots of games. What's the secret to coming out even when you're a little tired, a little sore, and still putting together something?
Man, Monty does a great job of giving us rest and not taxing us too much in practice. He leaves it to us to be professionals and to make sure that we're in shape. But he's not the coach that's got us running sprints and doing extra stuff, knowing that we play a lot of games. So he's been around for a while, so he understands. And I can just see it out there tonight. We came out with a lot of energy.
Where have you seen, just with the stretch without Book in the lineup, is there anybody in particular that you've noticed, like he looks and feels a lot more comfortable getting some more opportunity while Book's been out? Or maybe an area of your guys as a team that you've noticed come together?
I feel like we've been this way even with Book. I feel like that's the good thing about this team is like I think I've said this before that we have that next man mindset. So Shamet's been doing a great job stepping in that role. And when he goes back to the bench, he's still going to be a top performing player. And I don't think it's anything we've done different. We just play our ball. It's always been team basketball. Book just happens to score a lot of points around our team basketball. I feel like we, as a whole, we're a good team of getting everybody the ball or making sure everybody's involved.
I said before, playing with Chris is going to make a lot of guys better, but what does he do on a night-to-night basis that confirms that part? He's a mind. He's like a mega mind when it comes to basketball, and the fact that he's a point guard and controls the ball the whole game is even better. He sees things before it's happening. He sees things that happened 4 plays ago. He could tell you about. It's just his mind is really basketball oriented, and he knows where guys are supposed to be, and he knows where to put the ball. And when you have a point guard like that as your starting point guard, the backup point guard looks up to him and takes nuances from him, and it just trickles down.
Well, over the last 6 weeks, even though guys have been hurt, it seems like you've been able to play minutes with both teams enough. Do you feel like the chemistry is, it's already there, but just where you would assess the chemistry is at now at this point?
Oh, it's definitely getting better. The chemistry is definitely getting better. Cam Johnson's playing playing amazing, knocking down the 3, playing great defense, rebounding. Campaign is getting better at driving to the paint and making the decision. Either I'm gonna throw the lob or I'm gonna shoot the shot. And I'm getting better at deciphering if he's shooting or if I'm going to get the lob, or if he's going to shoot, I'm going to go and try to get that offensive rebound. So we're getting even better and better the more games that go in of just getting comfortable with each other.
Is there something you've learned from your time in the league when it comes to joining a new team and building it?
It's the team for real. It's what the team chemistry is. This is one team that I've came to where the chemistry was definitely major, and it was also a lot of emphasis on getting the bigs the ball, not necessarily in the post, but when the big post up, when they switch and the big post up a small, it's a mandatory. Like, we got to throw that thing in there, even though we don't have I could say DeAndre is a good post up player, but he's not. He doesn't get the ball in the post and then does a whole bunch of moves and gets to the basket. So I feel like Coach has done an amazing job of realizing that we have guys that can pass the ball and we can get the ball to the big without it having to be a post up, run a play, or a post up, do a move. He moves us around and puts us in the great positions to succeed.
It's always good to make your first couple shots. So, feel like we came out the right way. Our bench really picked us up. We didn't come out exactly how we wanted to that first unit, but the second unit gave us a little burst early, got us going, and from there I felt like we were pretty solid. Had a couple periods where we kind of lulled down a little bit, but overall, pretty good from beginning to end. Win.
Coach said he was a little worried about what to expect. He just didn't know after the Portland game, energy and all that. Maybe what was said or among you guys before the game that made you guys think, okay, we'll come out with the right energy?
We definitely had the right energy. There wasn't a lot that needed to be said. You could tell based on how guys were in the locker room and warm-ups, layup lines. Our energy was right where it needed to be. And, that carries us ultimately.
When you look at just this team that you've been at this for, few months now, but what are you just noticing even more and more in these game goes about what you guys are?
I think just professional, man. Like we, have handled, a number of things thrown at us and, continue to band together and continue to get better, continue to want to get better. There hasn't been any nights where we've, it's felt like we've taken the foot off the gas or lacked any sort of like attention to detail or urgency. Like I think everybody from top to bottom knows what we're here to do, what we're trying to do. And, just ebbing and flowing with what comes our way. And so that's one thing that I've learned about our pedigree here. Everybody's locked in on that, and that feels good.
You guys had 8 guys scoring double figures tonight, and Tony Booker, 3 other rotation guys out. When you play on multiple teams in the league, is this team's depth, does it kind of stand out in a different way compared to some of the other places?
Yeah, I mean, we're deep for sure. And I think more than anything is we, play together, trust each other, play the right way in a way that, enables us to have, those numbers with multiple guys in double figures. So, and every night it could be somebody different in that spot. So, we have a lot of interchangeable pieces, guys who are comfortable in filling different roles. Elfrid's come in and been able to play minutes at the 2 even, he's obviously known as a point guard, Campaign playing alongside Chris, Chris playing off the ball a little bit, DA, Sticks was great today too, came in. We just have a lot of guys who know that, they can come in a multitude of different roles and embrace that.
Has that been refreshing to play for a coach that understands that whole concept of long season? You got to need a break here.
Mhm.
Understand that?
Yeah, he gets it. But even, on days where we don't do much in practice, his intensity is still where it needs to be. And that's what's important, so film, and we'll come in on a day off for practice, and it's, really, all right, let's lock in on film. Let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. Let's get better. Let's walk through some things, be, attentive. But then he's also really good about knowing when, we don't want to over pollute our minds with, too much of the basketball stuff. So he's great. His feel's awesome. I could say a million great things about Mont, but, he's done a great job.
Landry, you guys ran a handful of motion side of coming around those off-ball screens. What's the one thing you're focusing on the most when you're going through those?
The first thing mostly is just my separation from, my defender. Where is he at? Do I feel him or not? And that kind of answers a lot of questions for me from there. And then obviously, the big guarding, DA or JaVale, whoever that is involved. That's who I'm looking at secondary. So if I do my job, create separation, then from there, I get the answers to the test based on what the big's doing. So
The second nature for you at this point compared to Philly, where you were starting to pick that stuff up more?
I've always felt pretty comfortable playing off the ball, being in that kind of setting. I think that's, definitely an area where I know I'm comfortable. But there were obviously learning curves and stuff when I first got to the league and in Philly and whatnot, and even, still. So finding more ways to be effective, make plays, throw the lob, playing with big athletic bigs like we have here. Just always trying to get better. So